This is going to be another Stragtail / DNU combination. Now, it's been a while since I've done a DNU style video. Who would have known that the next time that I did one, it would be a combo? You know, it's like I said, the last time I did one was involving those 5 teens that killed that girl in her house. Well, now it involves these 2 individuals right here. And their names are Jacqueline Rambert and Trey Henderson, and they have both been sentenced to a very high, significant amount of years in prison for the beating death of her 5-year-old son. Now, I know some of you are probably looking at this picture and wondering, okay, which one is Jacqueline? The one on the left. So let me go ahead and get into this madness of an article. A woman from Chicago has been sentenced up to 50 years in prison on charges stemming from the beating death of her 5-year-old son in Iowa. Jacqueline Rambert, age 26, and that's a rough 26, was sentenced Friday in Davenport, court records said. She pled guilty to child endangerment resulting in death and child endangerment multiple acts. Prosecutors agreed to drop a murder charge in return for her pleas. She was sentenced to 50 years each on each count, with those sentences to be served at the same time. Under state law, Rambert must serve at least 40% or 20 years of the sentence. They should have just given her all 50, in my honest opinion, or let the murder charge stick. That's why sometimes I hate plea deals. As part of her plea deal, Rambert testified against her co-defendant and former boyfriend, Trey Henderson, who was that guy right there. He was convicted February 13th of first-degree murder and other crimes. The 28-year-old is scheduled to be sentenced April 1st to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So that's what it sounds like to me. That sounds like what a plea deal came in. So in order for her to get the murder charges taken off of her sentencing, she testified against her ex-boyfriend in order to give him the life in prison so she wouldn't get that many years. Now, mind you, they said that this is her 5-year-old child. We don't know if this child was his. Not that it would really matter or not, because at the end of the day, an innocent boy is dead. Between these 2 knuckleheads right here, who I hope that when they get to prison, that they get dealt with accordingly and let it be swift. Henderson and Rambert were charged with child endangerment for failing to seek prompt medical attention for the boy, authorities said. Bussell had just looking at that last name, this was a child she had from a previous relationship, had 17 broken ribs, damage to a number of internal organs, and bruises from the top of his head to his ankles after Henderson beat him on April 22nd, 2018, prosecutor said. Jashawn vomited several times over the next 4 days before being taken to a hospital, court records say. He was taken off life support and died May 1st, 2018. Henderson and Rambert are both from Chicago and were living in a Davenport apartment when the boy was beaten. You know what listening to the story reminds me of? It reminds me of Cynthia Baker and what's his face? The sperm donor. I can't remember his name, but that's what we called him. It reminds me of this story right here. It plays out the same way, like this, except it's reverse. It was her son she brought into this guy's life, and he beat her son, and she aided in it. Except with that story, he brought his daughter biologically into this woman's life, and she beat her, and aided it, and then she died. It plays out the same exact way. The only difference is it's a reverse of the sexes. You have, in this case, it was a man, and in that case, it was a woman. But at the same time, they still kind of work almost exactly the same way. Like, I don't care what they do to these 2 when they get behind bars. I just hope that it is, I know I said it's swift, but I actually hope that it's slow. You know, slow torture in this case is the best kind of torture that you can give them. But I'm still mad that she's only able to get up to 50 years, and she can be eligible for parole after 20 years. All right, I had to step off right quick, but I'm back. Back to what I was saying. These 2 right here deserve a slow, torturous death. Yes, I just said it. That's what needs to happen to the both of them. Because like I've said in many of my videos, I can't stand child killers, especially when they do something like this heinous to this child. I don't even care to know what the motive was, because you can't sit here and tell me that there was something that a 5-year-old boy did to piss these two off that bad. These two so-called grown adults who are more immature than the child who was 5, to make them kill him. Now, this is my first time hearing about this story. This happened back in 2018, and this is my first time hearing about it. They really kept this one under wraps. And maybe it's because they were in Iowa. I don't know. But if someone can let me know down in the comments, did you hear about this story before I brought it up today? Or is this as fresh and new to you as it is to me? I can't even stand to look at these two right here. Like I said, I hope when they get in and they find out who they are, they make their life a living hell, to the point where either they take them out or they take themselves out. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on. I'll talk to you in the next one, and RIP to that little boy.